could join the court's 4 liberal justices to uphold the Obama administration's arrangement. Steve Coleman, Washington.
Officials say about 200 students at a Pennsylvania college have reported symptoms of a stomach illness, but the source of the ailment remains a mystery. Ursinus College says classes will resume on a regular schedule tomorrow. The Revenant looks like it's a strong contender for Best Pictures at the Oscars. The movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and a bear was named Best Picture at the British Academy Film Awards. DiCaprio won the Best Actor prize. And the #1 movie at the box office this weekend, Marvel's R-rated superhero movie, Deadpool. This is AP Radio News.
Your favorite progressive voices: Bill Press, Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Norman Goldman, Amy Goodman, and Alan Colmes, all on one station. This is 820 AM WCPT Willow Springs, 92.5 WCPT FM DeKalb, 92.7 FM WCPY Arlington Heights, 99.9 FM WCPQ Park Forest, and streaming worldwide at chicagosprogressivetalk.com. This is Chicago's Progressive Talk.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoFlifeinsurance.com.
Quality of life means health and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance means protecting your family if you die, but it can also provide income if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
Are you looking for the best residential and commercial laundry service in the Chicagoland area? Then you want PleaseDoMyLaundry.com. That's PleaseDoMyLaundry.com.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WCPT, NewsWeb Radio Company, or its affiliates.
Hi, this is Alex Garza at AGG Consulting. You can visit me at www.aggconsulting.net. I listen to the family meeting.
Hi, this is Wendy Calvert at wcalvertlaw.com. I listen to the family meeting.
Yes, welcome to the broadcast. It's family meeting time. I'm your host, Eric Grant. Our in-house idiom master is waging the snow right now, so he'll be here in a second, as well as our other guests. Of course, in the space shuttle cockpit controlling everything is our girl, your girl, everybody's girl. That's Lady B. What's up, Lady B? She is ignoring me. Thank you very much. Email us at info@TFM Radio Show. We're all over social media, and we have a newly formatted webpage now. You can visit us at tfmradioshow.com, where you'll find all kinds of interesting things. It's a work in progress. Our archived broadcasts are there. Some of our playlist music we play on the show are there. A lot of interesting things. So take a look at it, tfmradioshow.com. Again, we're all over social media, on Facebook at The Family Meeting Radio, on Twitter, TFM Radio Show is our handle. Google Plus, we're there too. Live streaming on our YouTube channel right now. You can catch us there if you can't hear us on the radio or your computer. I guess it's the same, computer and radio. And you can also catch our archive broadcast on our YouTube channel, as well as our playlist again, which is what we get most of the requests for around here, is our playlist. People want to know where you get that music from, bro. Well, there it is. We got it for you. Music we play, music we will play, music we have played. You'll find it there. The meeting isn't, our family meeting is not complete without you. We'd love to hear from you. The number is 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. The family meeting is sponsored by Polaris's Save and Plan. Simply sign up to save monthly and get empowering financial advice. Visit saveandplan.com. That is saveandplan.com. Again, the number is 773-763-9278. Our guest today, and we'll have guests falling in because we've got people who are fighting the snow right now, so they'll be falling in. But our first guest here is my man, Jules Reynolds. Who you named after, man?
Named after my dad.
You who?
My dad.
Is his name Jules too?
It is.
Okay. All right. What was he named after?
That's a great question.
I don't know many brothers named Jules.
I know.
You're it, man. Okay. That's Jules Reynolds. He's a graduate from DePaul University, BBA in Business Administration, and he is a biopharma rep. I got it right?
You got it right.
I practiced that in my head a couple of times. Biopharma rep. Been there for 16 years. Lives in the suburbs. And just so in case you want to know, his daughter's Lauren. Lauren is who read the news, I think, last week. Did Lauren read the news last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren read the news last week. So that's his daughter, high school senior at, where's she go to high school?
Plainfield North.
Okay, I knew it was one of those schools out there I ain't never heard of. That is great. Okay, so what a week this week, huh? I asked Jules before the broadcast if he'd seen the debates, and you hadn't.
I had not.
You didn't miss a damn thing. Not a thing. It was, you know, for those of us who try to be policy wonks, who try to figure things out and see what these presidents are going to do, these presidential candidates are going to do, you didn't get much.
Yeah.
It's the candidates that are on the outside looking in oftentimes that are giving us the most. I thought that the governor of Ohio, what's that boy's name?
Kasich,
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think he did the best job in terms of the Republican side. On the Democratic side, I got to go with Bernie.
Sure.
Bernie was the guy. He did a fantastic job. What bothered me most, though, during the Democratic debate, and I can give you a lot of things that bother me about the Republican debate, so we won't go there. But on the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton, you know, I just feel dirty again. You know, this whole presidential campaign thing makes me feel dirty. She was kissing Barack's behind.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, it's on the way to South Carolina. There's a lot of black folks in South Carolina. So she trying to make friends with black folks. And, you know, then John Lewis comes out. John Lewis, great guy, brave guy, blah, blah, blah. I got that. And so he comes out and endorses Hillary Clinton and follows up his endorsement with, I never saw Bernie Sanders in any of the things. And I was the boss of this and head of this for this many years. And I never saw it. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. You know, you said it earlier about what around campaign time, what politicians tend to do to black folks.
Right.
Which is, you say it. Go ahead and say what you say.
Yeah, they come to court our vote. And then after they become elected, they tend to not remember us, especially when it comes to policy that affects us in a substantive, positive way.
Right.
So it's almost as if we're giving our support and we're not really getting anything substantive back in return.
Right.
So that's a bad recipe. Bad recipe.
I mean, yeah, and it happens every year, and we're the same fools who fall for that. And this is, you know, people want to create this gang warfare. They got this gang mentality. Well, you're a liberal. I ain't part of neither one of them gangs.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I think they're all crazy, Democrat and Republican.
True.
But you know, you watch the Democrats. I just thought that was ugly what she's doing now, catering to the black vote. I just thought that's just distasteful.
Yeah, it's interesting you should mention that because Bernie's doing a little catering himself. He went to Sylvia's in Harlem with the good Reverend Al Sharpton the other day.
Right.
But I respect Reverend Al because he did come out and say that we don't want to be catered to just when you need our votes or just when there's a primary in a majority black area. We want to be important to you at all times.
Mm-hmm.
But the question we have to ask ourselves is, what are we doing to hold folk accountable? That's a very good question.
Well, our currency really is our vote right now. So, you know, I don't know. I can't off the top of my head, at least, kind of figure out how we deliver, how we make people feel.
Right.
What's most important to us. I think that too many of the people, not necessarily like Reverend Sharpton, but a lot of the people in his role, quote unquote, community leader, I mean, they have a really low number that they'll take and sell our vote to them.
Yeah.
I don't accuse Reverend Allen of that at all. I think I bet you he puts the screws to some of these guys.
Sure.
But he gets some really low thresholds. I mean, John Lewis, for instance, again, hero in many respects. But dude, don't give it away that fast.
Right.
Make them come to you and make some promises that you want and need.
Yes.
And then find a way to hold them accountable.
That's it.
I don't think any of the black folks should be endorsing anybody on
Too
either
soon.
side. I mean, it's too soon. Yeah. So what you gonna do? Is my question.
Right.
I don't even know what to say about that, man. It's nuts for me. Let me I want to make sure that today, because of the nature of the debates, that we get our calls in early, and we don't normally do that, but I'm going to do it today. Let me start with George. George, what's up, man?
Well, thank you for taking my call, and wish all of us a happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
My comment may seem a little out there, but it has to do with the importance of this month. In the show just before you, Tavis Smiley played a interview with the Reverend Dr. C.T. Vivian, where he related how Dr. King had said the struggle for justice, racial justice, and civil rights in this country will be long, and perhaps too long, but it won't matter as long as we keep fighting the fight and we keep striving. And I experienced an example of that, a small example. About 10 days ago, I was out late in the evening, and I like to listen to the old-time radio shows on Sirius 148. And they do from time to time documentary-style things, about American history or important figures. And I listened in open-jawed amazement as they reran a half-hour, quote, documentary, unquote, dramatization of Confederate General Stonewall Jackson, who, as we know, was a slave owner, a slave master. He enslaved his fellow human beings. And this half hour was like a hymn of praise, genuflecting and bowing, and what an honorable man he was. And I'm thinking, this guy owned human beings. He was a traitor to his country. He made war on the United States and killed his countrymen. And they played this piece of garbage for half an hour. It should have been consigned to the wastebasket a long time ago. And it's Black History Month. I mean, I think Dr. King was right. He knew how far we had to go. And this is just a small example of how people are either unconscious, semi-conscious, or just don't give a damn about the things they put on the radio. It seemed pretty damned insensitive to me.
Yeah, so you could probably fast forward a story like that and pick anybody now who has turned arms against the United States, and you wouldn't get them reveling in their history as an honorable person. I mean,
well, there's still this culture, and unfortunately in the South, where they still have some kind of fatuous, flimsy notion that the South may rise again, and that the cause, with a capital C in quotation marks, was a noble one and an honorable one. And I'm sorry, it just makes me nauseous.
Yeah. And one of the things I heard that surprised me this week was the approval ratings of George W. Bush are high in South Carolina.
Well, naturally.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, it surprises the hell out of me. Tell me why I shouldn't be surprised.
Well, first of all, he did the smartest thing ever in his life. When he became an ex-president, he went to Dallas and kept his mouth closed. Hasn't said anything. And Americans have a short memory. So a lot of folk are selective in terms of what they remember and have forgotten a lot. Man, this current president inherited a terrible situation from that gentleman. So South Carolina is South Carolina. It does not surprise me. But
if you went to Massachusetts, you wouldn't get them. His approval rating wouldn't be high there. Why is it not high in Massachusetts, I'm presuming, and high in South Carolina?
People's politics are different in mass in those two areas.
I don't know what the hell that means, man, but okay.
Gentlemen, could I add something about South Carolina?
Certainly, please do.
We were reminded about this by your colleague on WCPT, Tom Hartman. I think it was this week, and you'll probably remember this. Back in 2000, when John McCain was running against W. Bush for the Republican nomination, he came out in New Hampshire with the lead. And the next state, South Carolina, was going to be crucial. And because of his wartime service and his personal story as a POW, it was looking pretty good for McCain to win South Carolina. But Bush's brain, Karl Rove, put together a push-pull operation where they contacted literally hundreds of thousands of potential Republican voters. And utilizing the fact that Senator McCain and his wife had adopted a South Asian child who was an orphan and was a young woman of color, they started asking different questions like, first, are you a Republican? Are you going to vote in the primary? And then, would you be more or less inclined to vote for Senator McCain if you knew if he was the father of an out-of-wedlock black child?
Yep.
And that tipped the balance for Bush in South Carolina.
But what's interesting is something like that works in the South. I mean, you think that goes over well in Illinois or Ohio? Or
Well, the way they know how to target precincts precisely, it wouldn't surprise me if they would put together a highly organized and focused operation to do that, where they thought it might do them good. But another thing to keep in consideration is that also took place in 2000 during Black History Month. No respect.
Interesting. George, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to me.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Take care. That's interesting. The South is just, you know my position on the South. The South is, to use Lauren's word earlier, interesting.
Yes.
Okay, let me get, is this KJ? KJ?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, man. How you?
All right. Well, listen, I wanted to follow up with that one phone call with the man before me, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
and what I wanted to talk about was something that happened right around the same time as Stonewall Jackson was trying to do his thing, which was no good, along with Robert E. Lee, Jeb Stuart, and all those other generals from the Confederacy. But I'm talking about something that happened at the tip of Africa right around that time, where a slave ship went down called the St. Joseph's. It was a Portugal slave ship, and a bunch of poor slaves were chained, and the ship started going down in rough waters. Everyone got off the ship. They were close to the coast, but since the folks were chained down, in the inner part of the ship, being brought in as property. Now get this, property. And the ship goes down. This is like 1870. Don't quote me on the date. But all of a sudden they did
that's kind of late, man. That's kind of late for slavery.
Yeah, but it did happen. I guess Brazil still had it going on, didn't they?
Okay, you might be right. Yeah, South America. There were parts of South America and probably the West Indies as well. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your story.
Okay. So when they did the final financial wrap up on this, the people in the inner part of the hall they were arguing about them like being property. Who's insured? Who's this? It costs us this much to catch them. It costs us this much. Who's going to be responsible for us losing that piece of property? Now that's despicable. I'm sure you know it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, in fact, there was a Georgia state rep recently who was touting the same thing. How Abraham Lincoln didn't have a solution to the potential loss in property that the slave owners would face. And that's what they were mainly mad about. They had $2 billion in wealth that Abraham Lincoln wanted to take from them, this wealth being human beings.
Oh, yeah, yeah. In an accounting principle, they were considered assets, right?
Right.
Right, but to get back to that, my thing is they call this ship the St. Joseph's. I got another point real quick after that. But anyways, who were the people running this ship? There were a bunch of folks who believed in their Lord and Savior and so on. If you go back 2,000 years, the Muslims and the Christians were pretty much carbon copies of each other for the longest. Christianity started getting a little bit more modern. Muslims stayed back where they were, pretty much back in their old days, 700 or 800. Supposedly, we'll go with that AD or whatever, or whatever have you. But my whole thing is, how can people still believe in this bamboozling of, the guys who were the slave owners and so on believed this profusely. In 150 years ago, they had their churches, and yet they use these people as assets. And now, today, you have people that are still put them up on the altar and fall to their knees before the very same person who used to have their patrons and followers do the thing to the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand my point? It just kind of boggles the mind. You run off to a church, and that's the slave master's church.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
And I don't know how many statues are white. I don't believe in none of that. I just believe in everyone being equal.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in one world government. We throw out all of this stuff, and what you work for. You do your very best. That should be the mainstay.
Yeah. Hey, KJ, I got to run to a break, man. I appreciate you though.
All right, if you say so. Take care.
Take care. He said, if I say so. Actually, I do. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hello, this is Dr. John Artis from Health on Earth Wellness Center. You can visit us at www.healthonearth.org. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Do you have a pain that won't cease? A health issue that's not getting better? It may be time you visited Health on Earth Wellness Centers. With over 20 years experience, 4 Chicagoland locations, and patients that range from 2 months old to 93, Health on Earth Wellness Centers are fully prepared to meet all your chiropractic needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities in Crestwood, Tinley Park, the South Loop, and Naperville. Don't let being healthy be your last resort. Make it your first choice. Make an appointment today at healthonearth.org. That's healthonearth.org.
Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
We have products that can change your life. Really? Sound like a big promise? If you're interested in helping people while you make a better life for your own family, then listen carefully. We have developed life insurance coverage that is so innovative that it's changing the way Americans think about, purchase, and use life insurance. Quality of life insurance is affordable life insurance that can protect your customers if they die, but it can also provide benefits if a policyholder gets sick or injured and survives. We are growing. If you like to help people and want to be part of an innovative company that values service and promotes a positive work-life balance, consider what we have to offer.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
Call Danielle.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
Think you better call Danielle.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Danielle.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Danielle.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Danielle.
That's right. You better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
This is Lisa Lenore, writer, editor, and educator. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yep, the number is 773-763-9278. One of the things, Jules and I were talking about this during the break, one of the things that stood out for me on the Republican side was, I think it was Rafael Cruz who said it. He accused John Kasich of, his name's Rafael, by the way. He accused Kasich of being not a conservative because he accepted Medicaid. I think it was Medicaid from the Affordable Care Act. And that whole gang who you with stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not with that. I mean, you know, we need to be about, this is one of the things that really troubles me about this whole election season, is that people aren't in pursuit of the good ideas. They're in pursuit of which gang you run with.
Yeah.
And how committed are you to the gang? Hillary Clinton did the same thing.
Right.
She accused Bernie of not standing in lockstep with the president. Well, I don't stand in lockstep with the president. He's got some good ideas and some bad ideas.
Yep.
And Bernie said, yeah, I don't agree with everything he did, but he did, campaign with him. He was accused of suggesting that someone should primary the president when he ran for the second term. I think everybody should be primaried. Everybody should be, to keep him on their game.
That's right.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but her effort was to try to show that he wasn't really part of the gang. He wasn't a gang member like the rest of us.
Right.
That unnerves me, because that takes us way off the path of finding good ideas for some really serious problems that the country has.
That's right.
And she lost a lot of votes because of that. I'd bet on that. Anyway, the number is 773-763-9278. Matt wants to talk about the debates. Matt, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. So, first of all, two things. Number one, that debate, I was waiting for Donald Trump to just leap up and drop kick Jeb, or Jeff to walk over and just suplex Trump, or like give him a stone cold stunner or a rock bottom, because
You know he can't get his leg up that high, man. You know he can't.
Maybe. I'm going to throw it out there that maybe he can't. But that was the funniest I was in the car. I'm an Uber driver, so I was listening to it on the radio. That was the funniest 2 hours of politics I have heard in a long, long, long time.
It was entertaining, wasn't it? How about the part when Trump told the crowd and Bush that W didn't keep us safe? Did you see that? Did you hear that part?
Well, look, yeah, I understand George Bush kept us safe, and this is like the only thing I'm ever going to agree with about in terms of Donald Trump. Bush kept us safe after the planes hit.
There you go. There you go.
And
which means he didn't keep us safe, by the way. Which means he didn't keep us safe.
No,
that's like me saying to you, Matt, me going and stomping on your foot and then saying to you, I never stomped on your foot except that one time.
Yes, you did.
Right.
Now, here's the second thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
2002, I was in 8th grade. My class took a trip to Washington, D.C. We met Scalia. And first of all, I can never remember his name, so I kept calling him Scapelli. Now, if you don't know who Scapelli is, he's the villain from the Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins.
Never saw that one.
More than that, Judge Scalia almost got me kicked out of 8th grade. He was so boring, I had to keep myself entertained. And I pulled out a lollipop, and I started eating it. And my math teacher came over, ripped it out of my mouth, and said, "You are in such big trouble." And she tried to get me thrown out of the class trip and everything. So Scalia almost got me thrown out of school for being boring.
Yeah, you'd have been on the lam if that had happened. Who knows where you'd have been if that had happened, right?
Nah, I'd probably still be an Uber driver, but that's okay.
Right, you might not make it to 9th grade. I got you.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, gentlemen, I appreciate it. Have a great week. And give Lady B and her new girl over there, who I don't know the name of, some vacation time.
That's Lauren. That's Jules' daughter.
That's all.
Yeah.
Hi, Lauren.
Okay. Yeah, she can't see you. Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it, man.
Take it easy.
Yeah, and we haven't hit that yet. The judge, Supreme Court Justice Scalia, kicked the bucket on Saturday. It's an interesting conversation on social media about him being gone because there's a lot of people who have a lot of feelings about him. You cannot argue, though, that man was instrumental in jurisprudence in the 30 years that he was on the Supreme Court.
No doubt about it.
You can disagree with everything he said, and you probably will. But he had a stand, and he was influential. He is, if I recall, a Reagan appointee, which is another thing that Reagan did to this country to damage it so badly, was give us Judge Scalia. Yeah, I said it out loud. I don't care what you think, buddy. I don't care what you think. Let's get Steve from the Gold Coast here. Steve, hey, what's up, man?
Hello, thank you for taking my call. And
Sure,
a couple points. One, I did want to raise this whole question of, where do we go given the Scalia death? Many people had assumed that whoever got the nomination and went on to win, Republican or Democrat, that given the age of several of the justices, that they were going to get to nominate 2, 3, perhaps even 4.
Isn't that kind of morbid to talk about people like that? You're really, really old, and you ain't gonna be here much longer.
Right.
Is what we're saying to them.
But when those same people's decisions affect the lives of millions of people and their lives, then it's sometimes necessary to step up and talk about it. Politics doesn't end because someone dies.
Yeah, but we act like they're not in the room, though. Like they're really, really old, and they'll probably die soon. And I'm here. I can hear you.
Well, absolutely. And if you were talking about someone's grandmother, that's fine. But these are not retired persons, and if they're going to take the responsibility of making these life-changing decisions for our society, then we are going to keep track of whether or not you're in good health or whether or not you might be contemplating retirement, because we do need to replace you, and who's in office will define what kind of judge replaces you, and that has implications for all sorts of issues.
I guess.
Now, and I do think that in this case that Republicans are sort of playing a game that they can't win. They're sort of arguing already that let's drag our heels on this, and so in the hopes that a Republican will win the election and thereby be able to nominate someone who's conservative. Now, this is where I think that they are miscalculating dramatically. I mean, one, if you look at the data, this nation is growing ever more liberal / Democratic. And if you look at the states and the breakdown of electoral college votes, the Democrats have a huge advantage just as a generic candidate running against a Republican candidate. Currently, the Democrats hold about 250 out of the 270 necessary electoral college votes. That's how many states they are likely to win. And the Republicans win about 148. So they have 100 electoral college votes in terms of advantage over the Republicans. So not only would a Democratic president be able to nominate someone, but they'd be able to nominate someone who was very much so liberal, because the seats that are currently up for re-election, just like here in Illinois, their question is, how many of those are Democratic seats that are in danger versus Republican? There are only a handful of Democratic seats that are in danger of losing. Meanwhile, there are over 20 senators that could possibly lose their seats on the Republican side. And I'm not talking about people who are, who are ahead by, say, 10 points or something. I'm talking about people who are neck and neck, if not losing currently in terms of polling against the nearest competitor on the other side.
And that's
like here in Illinois.
That's the more important election, quite frankly. Are the congressional and Senate seats are far more important than the presidential in this instance.
And so, I do think the Republicans, are miscalculating this, but, be that as it may, I mean, the gentleman who suggested that, this notion that, you should get what you work for. So in a hypothetical in which, say, I'm born to parents who don't have the education or training to make beyond minimum wage, and I'm 8-10 years old, and, so at the end of the month, we don't have enough money to feed the family. I mean, so government should stay out of, the business of feeding me. And I'm an 8-year-old who doesn't have enough to meet their nutritional needs or their health care needs or anything else. And I mean, this notion that, that government shouldn't intervene in the lives of people is just misbegotten, logic. And we've already demonstrated that in experiments all over the world. there's a reasoning as to why we feed children when they're younger. Because if you don't feed children when they're younger, they don't tend to develop the way that they should, and then you have problems in terms of those persons being able to understand and be educated and trained in the way that we want them to in order to function in a society and be productive members of society.
It's preventive measures. The feeding them is preventive measures. I got you.
Exactly. Healthcare, food, education, all the things that we should provide, which keeps us from having to do things like, pay welfare to adults because they can't work, because they can't function, because they don't have the training and education, keep us from having to send people to prison at $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year. You can invest now or you can invest later. This notion that, everybody should just get by according to their own means. Well, apparently the rest of the Western civilized world has decided that that's not a very good idea. And no one anywhere in the industrialized Western world is pushing for our system, by the way, which should tell you something about what they think of our system. No one is suggesting an American healthcare system. Let's do away with our single payer in places like Denmark and Norway and Great Britain and France and Japan and so forth. No one is running on a campaign platform that says, let's embark on the American system because we like that system so much better. Not a single nation is anyone running on that platform that's getting any traction.
They'd be foolish if they did. They'd be foolish if they did.
Exactly. We're the ones that are the holdouts. And basically because our lawmakers have been bought and paid for by industries which are controlled, which are making huge profits and control those people. Except for the Veterans Administration in this country, senior citizens, you would think that rationally the Medicare system would be able to negotiate with large pharmaceutical companies so that they could buy medication en masse. Now the VA can do it because even the pharmaceutical industry wouldn't dare stand up and sort of say, well, we're gonna deny veterans that opportunity because there'd be so much backlash against that sort of thing. Right. But for average Americans who rely on Medicare, you pay the price that is determined at the retail level. There is no buying wholesale, even though Medicare patients constitute millions of people in this country. So you would think that the VA should be able to go to pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers and say, you know what, we want to negotiate something that takes care of everybody. And given that we're buying en masse, what are you willing to sell it to us for? Right. Given we're buying at this level. But no, we have created laws in this country which say that it is against the law. We prohibit Medicare from doing that sort of negotiating, which should tell you something about who owns, this nation.
It's inherently an unnecessary law. It's not even necessary to do that.
Right, exactly. If you and your family, want to come in, if you call a restaurant and say, I want to have a family reunion at your restaurant, what are you willing to do for me? Because we're going to be bringing in 60 people. Right. They're going to obviously want to negotiate with you. They're not going to be paying the same thing as if you were eating by yourself.
That is the American way, right? Except if big money's involved.
That's it. It's about the money.
And the last part of it is that the paradox here is that you and I pay our taxes to university systems which engage in research and development and sometimes develop very good new medications and treatments, which they then, if you're a professor at a university, you can then sell that to Pfizer. And Pfizer, in turn, turns around and sells it to you and I. Mind you, we funded that professor's research and development at the university level because it's a state university, and then they developed something which they turned around and sold to Pfizer, and then you and I get to pay for that again.
Yeah, hey Steve, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. That's one such instance why we need a revolution of some kind, and that's why I'm not endorsing Bernie today. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying something's got to change. Something radically's got to change. The number is 773-763-9270. The lines are just about full. You guys stay tuned there. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hi, this is Vanessa. I'm Carmen's daughter. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
Traditionally, it's taken many kinds of insurance to give you security. Quality of Life Insurance is changing all that. It can provide life insurance, protect against disability, and provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and survive.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITFASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
Hi, my name is Karen Baker. I'm a practical nurse at Northwestern. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
The number is 773-763-9278. The phone lines are lit up, man. I don't know what you said, Jules. What did you say, man?
I don't know what I said either.
We can't never take you nowhere, man.
We're going to find out, though, aren't we?
Everywhere you go, man, something go wrong. Now the
well,
phone's
too.
ringing because Jules has said something. Let's get my man Wayne here. Wayne, what's up, baby?
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, man. How are you?
All right, yeah. Did your girl tell you that there was something wrong with the lines? We're not on the air now, right?
Yeah, we're on the air now, man. Don't say no bad words.
I thought we wasn't. Anyway, how y'all doing, man?
Good, man. How you?
All right. Yeah, I just called E to talk a little bit about Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton's pandering to the African American vote.
Doesn't that make you feel kind of funky when she does that?
Yeah, Bill Clinton did a lot of things to hurt black people, but people don't do research, so they don't know the truth. But anyway,
well, like the crime bill.
Yeah, like the crime bill, for instance.
Right.
But what I want to say is, like, I don't like John Lewis. I love John Lewis. I think he's just a great man. I can sit back and listen to him talk forever, man. About the things that happened during the movement.
Mm-hmm.
But he got it wrong on Bernie. For instance, in 1962, Bernie was a student at the University of Chicago right here. Because I used to live right across the street from it. But anyway, he got arrested for protesting segregation in public schools in Chicago in 62.
Mm-hmm.
So he was labeled an outside agitator by the police, which probably meant a FBI file on him way back then. And he was going around the whole city putting up flyers protesting against segregation in public schools. So he was doing that while he was a student at the University of Chicago. So for John Lewis to say, I never saw him and all that stuff he said, okay, you don't have to see a person for them to be doing the right thing.
Right. And
So,
not to mention
kinda
that there was so
backtrack on-
many people that there's a way he couldn't have seen him. The problem I got with what John Lewis said is he made it sound like he wasn't there.
Exactly. Like he had no part in the movement. And he's had a part in the movement the whole time. You know. But I don't know, it seems like it's so easy to pull the okie doke on black people when it comes to politics. Like I say, Bill Clinton did a lot to hurt black people. We're still suffering the effects of NAFTA today.
Yeah.
Did you see that HVAC plant in Indiana? Did you see that where they getting ready to get rid of all those jobs?
Oh yeah, I saw the clip from that. They're sending all the jobs over to China, I think. Or Mexico.
See,
China or Mexico.
See, that's NAFTA. So it's a lot of African Americans work at that plant. That's a direct result of Bill Clinton. And you know, Hillary Clinton is still supporting stuff like she doesn't even want to reinstate Glass-Steagall. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, sure I do. The financial regulations, yeah.
For the people that don't know, Glass-Steagall was put in place to keep commercial banks separate from investment banks.
Right.
So the investment banks can come in and steal all the money and gamble it away on Wall Street like a Las Vegas casino. She still doesn't even want to put it back in.
Right. Right.
You know, and what she needs to do is release the transcripts of that $200,000 an hour she was making talking to Goldman Sachs and the rest of those investment bankers. You know, Bernie needs to hold her feet to the fire on that.
Yeah. Well, so here's a reality that I want all of us to kind of grapple with. So Hillary Clinton might actually win. I mean, we can stand against her all we'd like, but she might actually win. I'm more concerned that this time around, people of color don't give away our vote, that we find a way to steer her the way she needs to be steered for our community's benefit. Because we can stand on the side and be mad about her and point out all kind of things, and then when she win, we kind of booty out on the side now.
Yeah, well, let me put it like this, man. TPP, for instance, she was the one working behind the scenes the whole time to bring it together. Now, do you really think once she becomes president, she's going to say, no, I'm not going to do it? And that's been their plan all the time. Even before Obama got in office, that was the plan, to institute TPP, to give 40% of the global economy to the corporations, so unions have no standing, no representation for American workers, and millions of more jobs being shipped overseas. That was the plan before Obama even came in. So Hillary is intent on still taking that plan forward. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what do we do about that? It's a bigger question.
We educate people and let them know who the best candidate is.
Well, I mean, so look at it this way then. I think every candidate on both sides of the aisle has a thing like that, if not several things like that. The question isn't about what they've got planned. The question is more about what we can make them plan.
Right. Make me do it. Like Franklin Delano Roosevelt used to say, make me do it. But you know what, man? I always disagree with that. You know what you're supposed to do, and you know why the voters voted you in to do what you're supposed to do. So what's all this make me do it stuff? You a Democrat, you know what the hell you're supposed to do it. Don't make excuses talking about make me do it.
Well, I think though,
here's another example. She's just committing to not cutting Social Security. Now, even Ronald Reagan, a reporter asked him a question, well, sir, are you going to cut Social Security? Ronald Reagan looked at him like he was crazy. Man, why are you asking me a question like that when you know Social Security has absolutely nothing to do with the deficit? Now, she's just coming around a week ago to saying, no, I won't cut Social Security. All these people have been working all their lives and they need Social Security. Why is she just not coming around to saying that she won't cut Social Security? Why? Because she's running for president. That's why. So, man, I'm glad I wasn't a politician, because they wouldn't have me. They would have kicked me out a long time.
You should have been a politician.
No, he wouldn't. He'd been stealing just like the rest of them.
No doubt. You're on point, man.
Hey, Wayne, I appreciate it, man. As
You
always,
should have
man.
been.
Okay, man.
Thanks again.
That's what's wrong with politics. None of the real politicians run. The ones who really can make a difference never run.
Well,
You know, it's just like the fact that we always just kind of concede the fact that to the front runners. It's
Well,
just the front runners. We start trying to form ourselves around someone like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton because they front running, or why is that? That's the question. Why is that?
Well, you got to look at the media for that. But the other point I wanted to make was people have these idealistic, noble intentions when they get into politics.
Mhm.
And once you get in the mud,
Yeah.
you get muddy.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Sure they do.
No, they don't.
Some of them do.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They know what to say because this is what people want to hear. They say it and they automatically know. I mean, can you imagine President Obama? Check this scene out. President Obama goes into his first cabinet meeting. He walks in, he's idealistic. He wants to move the country forward. He wants to give a olive branch to both sides of the aisles. So he goes in this long sweeping table with these stoic looks on both sides. And as soon as he walks in, they look up at him and they say, "Yo, home, you do know all that presidential stuff was for the cameras and lights. Now sit your aid down.
That's
and this
right.
is how this goes."
That's right. That's right.
I mean, let's be
That's
real
right.
about this, man.
That's right.
This is a point where Americans are just basically brain dead. Because Ross Perot told you 30 years ago about all this stuff with NAFTA and GATT and outsourcing the jobs and the Republicans and the Democrats. And we got this 1% and the 99% that's in the bottom of the barrel. So at this point, I'm trying to figure out what any human being on the face of this earth is expecting a politician to say when you know everything they do say, it never happens the way they say it.
Well, so here's what I don't want to do. I don't want. I think that the average voter is a professional problem finder. Can identify the problem without fail
all day long.
Right. And so, but they're not as adept at the solution.
Yes.
So really, we know that kind of money drives just about everything.
Yep.
Right.
The mud you talked about is largely the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And the people, Tommy, you just described, who are in the room telling them sit your butt down,
Right.
are the people who are handling the money.
Down.
Right. Right. So it's about the money. That's the currency they use to influence politics.
Right.
Yes.
So those of us who don't have that kind of money, how do we then influence politics? It
With
seems-
numbers. It's either money or numbers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Our
Right.
only
It's
currency,
your vote.
Right.
our only currency is our vote.
Right.
And I think if our vote doesn't come with some sort of a policy position, because see, again, we're professional problem finders. We can find the problem, but can you develop and attach a policy that you demand of a person that you're going to exact your currency on them if they don't pursue your policy?
Well,
Yeah, it's called vote them out.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to do that when the money is the one that's influencing the room. I mean, it's hard to do that when behind the scenes the money. People don't know what their price is until they get offered or presented their price.
Right, but the money becomes irrelevant if they're not voted into office.
But I would go in a different direction with this. That Citizens United case in the Supreme Court really just broke this thing wide open.
No, but it didn't know. It didn't know.
It didn't, but it did. I mean, it put it on front.
Okay, what the hell does that mean?
No, I mean, there was
It's
a lot
cold,
of money.
but it's hot.
No, there was a lot of money in the political process before that, but now it's wide open.
Okay, so now you're among the ranks of professional problem finders. I got
Right.
you.
So
what's the policy?
Campaign finance reform is the policy that could fix that.
Okay, so
Really, how you gonna get anybody to go along with that? And
here's
everybody's
very
stealing?
difficult.
Here's one of the smartest things.
That's my call.
Here's one of the smartest things I heard Bernie Sanders say, that you have to advocate for what you can get consensus on.
No doubt.
And the reality is the lunatics lose with campaign finance reform. So you can't get consensus on that. You can't. But you can get consensus on voters. Bernie Sanders is moving voters now.
Right.
We can move voters.
Yeah.
Barack Obama moved voters.
Yeah.
So the question becomes policy. What policy can we advocate for to address the problems that we professionally find on a regular
Well,
basis?
the idea of policy though, isn't that created from the people? Like that's moving voters, the
Well,
voters that are moving.
I think it's centralized.
Right.
Somebody has to be the impetus.
Right.
For
I mean,
policy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's just a spokesperson. In a real democracy, the way a real democracy is formed, it's supposed to be the spokesperson for the people or the policy implementer for the people.
Right.
Well,
So-
that's the way it was designed to be. But
That's the way it was designed to be.
Rarely that way.
So but like what Eric just said, though, if these Bernie Sanders is moving voters, if voters are moving, then like you say, now Bernie Sanders' responsibility, he has a simple one. What policies do y'all want to see implemented in this democracy?
And we have to make demands on him to earn our vote because that's our only currency.
Those voters give him a mandate to do what they want.
That's our only
That's
currency.
what we all should. That's what democracy is, isn't it?
You don't get it.
The power of influence.
That's so smarty ass over here.
That's
Like, you know
he's being real.
That's a beautiful sweater he got on, though. I gotta
really
say
is.
that.
Tommy's like that, man.
That is
Tommy's
like.
that.
I mean,
By the way,
very
by the
elegant.
way, we had new voices walk in case you didn't know. One is my man Tommy. I hope you brought your blue pills with you today, man.
I have a whole bottle full here.
And our idiom masters here. We got to take a break now. We'll come back and bring y'all in to do this thing. The number is 773-763-9278. The Chicago Defender News is coming. I see all you guys on the line. Do not go anywhere. I'm coming back to you. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
This is DeAndre Edwards, assistant coach of the West Inglewood Tigers. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
How do you describe quality of life? For most of us, it's about health, people we love, and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance is modern, affordable life insurance that works harder for you. It's there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle. Quality of life insurance even gives you options to build cash value for a more secure retirement. You've worked hard to attain your quality of life. We work hard to help you protect it.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
This is Carmen Ruffin, co-host of The Family Meeting. We love being here every Sunday. Our sponsors and advertisers make that possible. So if you're a business owner or a manager, please consider advertising on our show. There's something for every budget, from one commercial per show to a full sponsorship.
For more information, contact the Family Meeting at info@tfmradioshow.com. That's info@tfmradioshow.com.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. We are an intimate aromatherapy, massage, bath, and body shop. We have the best aromatherapy, bath, and skincare products available. You can find us in Chicago and on the World Wide Web. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 3 blocks east of Harlem Avenue, 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
And now the Family Meeting presents your Chicago Defender News.
Good evening, family. I'm Teresa McDonald, and here are the top stories from ChicagoDefender.com. Georgia Congressman John Lewis is taking on some incoming fire after he publicly announced his endorsement for former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, all while expressing that he was unimpressed with Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders' civil rights record. Some have unfairly criticized the civil rights hero as an Uncle Tom and sellout for aligning himself alongside his longtime political and personal friend, and for picking Clinton over now President Barack Obama in the 2008 election. Senator Bernie Sanders, who won the New Hampshire primaries over Clinton, was an organizer with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and has said he attended the March on Washington in 1963. "I never met Bernie Sanders," Lewis said, symbolically dropping the mic before walking away from the podium. Supreme Court Associate Justice Antonin Scalia was found dead during a weekend hunting trip at the Chibolo Creek Ranch in West Texas. The longest-serving justice on the court, nominated by President Ronald Reagan in 1986, was 79 years old. The outspoken and conservative justice arrived at the ranch Friday to attend a private party with 40 people. A ranch associate who checked his room when he did not arrive for breakfast, found Justice Scalia's body. Although the U.S. Marshal Service and the FBI are investigating, foul play is not suspected. 2 female suicide bombers between the ages of 17 and 20 reportedly blew themselves up this week in a camp in northeastern Nigeria, killing at least 58 people and injuring 78. The attacks occurred Tuesday in the town of Diakwa, which is near the border shared by Cameroon. Other lives were spared when a third bomber changed her mind after learning that her family was housed at the camp. The victims were staying in a camp for people who had been displaced by Boko Haram violence in Nigeria's Borno state. An estimated 53,000 people trying to escape Boko Haram attacks from 6 districts are now sheltered under military protection. James Robertson of Detroit grabbed worldwide headlines last year after it came to light that he walked 21 miles daily to get to work. Well, he's now 57 and his life has changed dramatically. He no longer has to walk all those miles to and from work. After a donor gave him a new 2015 Ford Taurus last year, he now drives to his job as an auto factory worker at Shane Molden Engineering in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Robertson also received generous donations, about $360,000, from online fundraisers, which helped him to leave his one-room apartment in Detroit's North End neighborhood and move into shiny new suburban digs in Troy, Michigan. Also, reader watch at ChicagoDefender.com. Trump supporters filed birther lawsuit against Cruz as sparks fly in GOP primary contest. American Masters premieres special on legendary blues man B.B. King on PBS. And experts pen open letter requesting Governor Schneider establish fund and remedies to help those impacted by the Flint water crisis. For more on these stories and other up-to-date news, and to get your weekly subscription, visit ChicagoDefender.com. The news today is sponsored by Mrs. Indecent Exposure Aromatherapy Bath and Body. Love is in the air on Valentine's. Say I love you every day to your special someone. Shop online at mrsndexpo.com for the best in intimate aromatherapy skincare for women and men. All natural Dead Sea salts, handmade bath bombs, bubble bath, sugar scrub, lotion, pure unrefined body oil, and premium milk soap. Also see our full line of Kama Sutra, Making Love Better, available in-store only. A little wine and some quality time. That's all we really need, right, ladies? Call 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com. I'm Teresa McDonald, and this has been your Chicago Defender News. We'll be right back with more of the family meeting.
Teresa.
Yes.
I took a bath this week. You hear Tommy and them arguing in here?
What are they arguing about?
Yeah, what black folks argue about. Thanks for the black soap for Black History Month.
Oh, you are so very welcome.
I'm like the first person to get black soap?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Is this got crack in it too?
A little bit. A little bit.
I'm gonna eat this soap. That's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you.
Thanks, girl. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
Your favorite progressive voices: Bill Press, Stephanie Miller, Tom Hartman, Norman Goldman, Amy Goodman, and Alan Combs, all on one station. This is 820 AM WCPT Willow Springs, 92.5 WCPT FM DeKalb, 92.7 FM WCPY Arlington Heights, 99.9 FM WCPQ Park Forest, and streaming worldwide at chicagosprogressivetalk.com. This is Chicago's Progressive Talk.
The name of my business is Mrs. Indecent Exposure. Stop in and check out our Forbidden Fruit bath bombs. We have Orgasmic Fantasy, and for the men, we have Extremely Sexy bath bombs. We also feature a Little Mrs., and a Little Masters line, a tween line, if you will. We're located at 6916 West North Avenue in Chicago, 773-417-3223. Mrs. Indecent Exposure, MRSNDEXPO.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. All benefits are subject to policy definitions, limitations, and exclusions. For details, visit qualityoflifeinsurance.com.
How do you describe quality of life? For most of us, it's about health, people we love, and peace of mind. Quality of life insurance is modern, affordable life insurance that works harder for you. It's there for your family if you die, but it can also provide benefits if you suffer a serious illness or injury and need financial help to maintain your lifestyle. Quality of life insurance even gives you options to build cash value for a more secure retirement. You've worked hard to attain your quality of life. We work hard to help you protect it.
To find out more, contact the Polaris Insurance Agency. Visit polarisadvice.com or call 312-951-2606 to learn about how we can help you make a plan for your future. That's 312-951-2606.
The Howard University online EMBA is tailor-made for busy professionals seeking a competitive edge in business and government organizations. Their 18-month program also connects you through their elite networking and professional development events, including an optional trip to China. For more information, go to howardemba.com.
This is Melanie Martin Ware, Howard University alumni, class of 1990. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yeah, so here's the deal. The lines are full, so we're going to do that early thing.
I don't want to be a player no more.
Rob always has to sing.
Hey, man, I don't want to be no player no more, man. It's Valentine's Day, man. I got to send a shout out to my little Wolverine, baby. Hey, man, that's
you kicking it with Wolverine.
Hey, Rob, see, what you need is a Sharon in your life.
That's what you got to share. See,
Hey,
that's what
Sharon.
it is.
I got a LaShawn. I got
There
the
you
best.
go.
Need a Sharon.
What y'all doing here?
Hey, we sending shots out to our you know.
What you here though? You
You
ain't there.
know,
What
hey,
the-
we got to.
I took
we gotta
care.
still
I
work.
took care of what I had to take care of.
When you got a real one at home,
Please
you know, you
believe.
can step out. You know, eagle know how to get back to
You
you.
just, listen, y'all just know she can hear you now. That's what
Hey,
I'm
that's
talking
all-
about.
hey,
We
it is what it is.
Something different. That's what I'm
We've
talking about.
learned. You didn't learn yet.
Best
We've
thing
learned.
that ever happened
I
to me
learned.
was
You
Yeah,
gonna learn.
hey,
They say best thing that ever happened to me.
y'all don't see all them cards he punching when he go home.
Right.
All right, so that voice you hear right now is Tommy. That's Tommy Nelson. He's actually here today,
Yes, I
here
am.
with us. So what you get is one big long tantrum from Tommy since he's here today. But so and Rob joined us, of course, too. You have an idiom or quotation for us later.
Gotcha.
You got that?
Mhm.
Okay. So by the way, be nice to Lauren. She's answering the phones back there. We got to do our little cool down period a little early today because we got a lot of calls. People want to
Right.
talk about this debate thing. So if you can, be succinct and to the point and get to, just get it in, man. We're gonna let you talk, but get it in, okay? So policy is my thing. I hear you. We're professional problem finders. Everybody knows what the problem is. How do you fix it? Jules threw one out during the break. That is what, Jules?
Well, I talked about having mandatory voting. We open it up for a whole week, and we get everybody involved in the process. You get fined if you don't vote. But if more people participated electorally, we really feel like a lot of things will change.
I think it would be an interesting outcome, mandatory voting, to see what the entire country what you smiling about, man? What? What's funny, man?
He said mandatory voting, and if you don't, you get fined. Hell, I'm drinking wine, man. What's wrong with you? What I care about you fining me? Are you
I'm
serious?
drinking wine, man.
And I'm making moonshine out in the back. Are you serious? Come on now.
Well, I am serious, actually. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think that this fine that we talk about can show up on your taxes. Not a much different than
So
what
hit 'em with the
happens.
money.
I ain't getting no tax return.
So hit them.
I'm looking for a job, man. What are you talking about?
You're going to jail. That's what's going to happen.
So that's the answer to getting people to get involved.
Mandatory.
Hitting them in the money.
Voting. Listen,
with the money.
It wouldn't be new. It wouldn't be new. You get fined now for not having health insurance.
I mean, that's the kind of flirts with being like a violation of civil liberties. I don't like the process. I don't like who's running. I don't want to vote for any of them.
Then just pay the fine and go away.
I'm just saying.
Just pay the fine and go away then.
Why you got to pay a fine? Like why you got to get penalized with a fine in your idea of
and how much is this fine going to be?
$20.
$20.
Okay, we'll make it $20
for
the sake of argument.
You just want to say something to me. I just want to say,
if the corporation council got anything to do with it.
Hold on a second. Y'all the professional problem finders. It addresses a problem.
No, it doesn't.
Actually, it does, because we know that a full vote by every citizen will give us a true picture of who we want in elected office.
I think in some regards, I think we got to pay attention to, when the laws or certain policies were passed, or certain, like the way the union was formed, for example. Let's look at the way the union was formed. Jules was saying during the break, the union wasn't really formed for black people, so to speak. So let's look at the intent of the union. The intent of the union came from white people who wanted to be treated equally or fair for what they put in work. So if sometimes we can learn from the language of the intent of those white individuals who was going against other white individuals because they were trying to get a balance created. So what were the policies being implemented when those less than fortunate white people rose up, stood? Let's look at those examples in this country. I'm just saying in this country, because that's the biggest, the best example we have. If we want to say how we're going to fight the upper echelon versus the ones.
No, I wouldn't say we're fighting anybody.
Well, at least to be fair, like to try to create a balance of what should be fair, because unions were formed.
That wouldn't be my goal though, but I hear you. But
unions were formed with an intent. Like, hey man, look, we participate in this. We do this. We the ones find out how to best, create this product or how to put it out there. We think there should be a fair balance. There was a language in that. Even if black people wasn't involved in it, just say like what Jules said, there was still that means it was purely coming from the intent.
But in all fairness, you're segmenting people, and I hear you.
Well, I'm just saying
you're exactly right. But I'm not talking about black people, white people,
I know
anybody. I'm talking about citizens of the country who want policy that helps everybody.
Well, I'm just saying when we make those statements about the Constitution, that black people wasn't involved in the Constitution, I'm just putting an overall broad.
That's a problem. I got you.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
So, but there was an intent that was coming from those people that was at the bottom fighting up. It was an intent. That was an effective intent.
Yeah, but you're creating gangs again, and that's what I'm trying to avoid doing.
Well,
because you're describing the bottom and the upper echelon. I'm not talking about any echelon. I'm talking about just citizens, regardless of economic status or employment status.
But there were solutions coming out of that, though. That was solutions, negotiating solutions. That was solutions that was coming out.
That's what I'm saying. What is the policy? What policy? Now, we've got one on the table here. One policy: mandatory voting.
Okay.
Right. If everybody votes, then we have an accurate feeling for what the citizenry wants as far as elected officials. We know. Right. If we decide to elect someone I view as a lunatic, then we do.
Let me see.
Get on the mic, bro.
Mandatory voting. You're now required to have insurance. You're now required to wear your seatbelt.
See what he's doing? He's professionally finding problems.
I'm just going down the aisle, and I'm clearly saying that these are policies that people don't give a hoot about. Because see, let me try to break this down for you. Because see, the average individual, and I don't mean average because of the term average, but the individual who wants to put food on their table, pay a bill, and be able to enjoy some of the amenities known as the United States of America is simply saying this: if what you talking about can't help me right here and right now, the hell with what you talking about. Because see, when money is on the table and a person can see that my paradigm is changing and things are getting better, then I can pay attention. But if that ain't happening, all of this mandatory stuff has gotten us nowhere.
I think you completely missed the point. You're doing a micro and we're doing macro.
There's a lot of people that have all of that taken care of that don't participate in the political process.
Why should I?
You should, because it affects
if I
you.
got my stuff taken care of, I don't care what's going on with you. Isn't that the 1%?
No,
I mean,
actually, you do. Actually, you do, so that the system doesn't come and take it from you. Well, you do. But listen. I got you, but you're talking on a micro basis. I'm talking macro here.
Okay.
And what ends up happening is that there are no immediate gratifications.
Got to have mics before you get to max.
Well, I mean, it's just like
it's the reverse, actually.
No, it's
Mac
like,
creates the micro.
Well, when the main, it's hard to accomplish what you're saying about a policy when let's quote unquote say the main investor. When the main investor says, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It put the whole room at a freeze. When the main investor say, I don't like it. Okay, all right, I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say it like this. I want to say it like this. Okay. Just say like we had a radio show. And just say one person was brokering the show. And other ideas was coming. But the main investor, the broker, said, I don't like it. So go back to the drawing board because I'm the main investor and there's no other way to think about it other than the way I think about it.
Because the other person doesn't have any currency.
Right.
So, but that's not an accurate analogy because voters have currency.
No,
voters do have currency. And for me, it's about making it easier for people to get out to the polls. Let's take that term mandatory out. We should have more time to vote so that the people that my brother Tommy here is talking about that are having a hard time making ends meet, a lot of those folks might still be interested in voting, but if they got to choose between working and going to vote, they're going to go to work. So if we had a whole week where the whole nation could vote, that's going to cause those people that are running for office to interact with us, to view our currency, our vote, a lot differently than they do right now.
But you still don't address the apathy.
Well, the apathy simply comes from the fact that I'm casting a vote and nothing seems to be
professional
changing.
Problem finder.
That's not a problem finder. That's a fact.
Now, I would counter that by saying that I think we all fall down by paying too much attention to the politics that's further away from us and not enough attention to the politics that's closest to us, because that's what has the most impact on us. And if you look at folk on the other side of the aisle, or let's just say conservatives, they've done a phenomenal job of paying attention to the local level, the state level. They hold, probably a majority of governorships. Then you look at the redistricting that's happened in terms of the House of Representatives, how they have majorities there. All politics is local. We got to start paying a much closer attention to things at home.
Right.
Well, so, but see, the premise, of idiots that put around in the governor's house. I mean, yeah, you talking about pay attention.
Yeah, but Tommy, had everybody voted, I'd be willing to believe that he wouldn't be in office.
Well, how do you?
I agree with my brother Eric on that.
Because every poll that you can find says that high voter turnout benefits the Democrats.
Okay.
We know this. It's statistically true. And it's further enforced by the fact that you see a lot of Republicans trying to sequester the vote, trying to suppress the vote.
Including your boy Kasich from Ohio.
But the real movement of politics in and of itself it goes on when people influence are talking. It don't really go on when the public is talking.
Yeah, but Rob, I think you. I don't know if you.
Okay, go ahead.
The influencers can be the voters if everybody votes
to a degree.
No. It's
to a degree.
That's absolute. That's absolute because because if you're a person throwing money at a candidate, they will not react to the money. They can't react to the money if they're not in office to execute.
Well, it's not necessarily a candidate. It's about things that you're trying to get implemented, like things that people may sponsor. Like, I mean, it's a big language in this. It's a big language. If you're trying to get something going on in the South suburbs, and I'm one of the ones that say, yeah, out of the blue, I'm willing to sponsor you, but I don't like Tommy. And I don't like what he's talking about. I mean, all that holy roly stuff. I know you like him. I know Eric, y'all like each other. But if I'm going to put my money behind that, you got to tell Tommy to take a back seat on this one. That ain't got nothing to do with voter turnout.
Well, actually it does, because Tommy can't do what he's got to do if he's not in a position to do something.
Yeah, but that's who I could shut him down if I'm in position with you and you trying to get something.
Tommy has got the homies on his side.
If votes don't
got Bebe's kids,
If votes don't
They don't
count,
die, they multiply.
if votes don't count,
Mhm.
why are they trying to suppress the vote?
The votes count. Votes definitely count.
Votes count.
Okay, so listen, we got to take a break, and I promise you guys on the phone we're going to come to you after this next
What's
break.
up, Ant?
Ant, you saw Ant? Huh? No, Ant. What you talking about, man? Tommy's on them damn blue pills again. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
I'm Alicia Stewart. Check me out on Twitter at Alicia Stew, ALICIASTEW. Keep listening to the family meeting.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message: do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon, or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
The law office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-9399-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck.
You better call Darnell.
Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI?
You better call Darnell.
Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony?
I think you better call Darnell.
Purchase a product that causes you or a loved one harm?
I think you better call Darnell.
When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home?
I think you better call Darnell.
That's right. You better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
This is Paul Mark Wallace, president of NSYNC Consulting Services. Our website is www.nsynccs.com. Welcome back to the family meeting.
773-763-9278 is the number. Boy, if we ever get this thing on TV, y'all going to enjoy what goes on during the breaks. Down here, man.
That beat smooth. That beat is smooth, man.
It's magical.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hammering y'all today because I've had this happen before on our broadcast where I've demanded policy. And we can't seem professional problem finders. We can find all the problems in the world, but we can't do policy. We need policy.
They don't work.
But the thing, I think policy is sort of organic, though, Eric.
No, it ain't. No,
it is. It
does not work.
I think it's organic in the sense.
Let me.
I agree. I agree.
Let me say it a different way.
Okay.
I think what my brother Eric is trying to say is we're very, very good at pointing out problems, but we're not so good at finding and implementing solutions.
demanding
Okay.
solutions.
Yeah.
So how are you going to tell me that we're good at finding problems but not implementing?
He just did it in
solutions?
English. I saw him do it. You mean how he just did it?
Yes, I did that. So watch this. People play you the way that you play yourself. It's simple. It's clear. It's been demonstrated over and over and over through every generation that's landed on the face of this place called the United States
So if
of
we're getting
America.
played, that's a problem, right?
Well, I mean, hey,
Right?
if
Tommy, if we're getting played, that's a problem, right?
well, yeah.
Okay, so then you're still finding problems.
No, but the problem
See,
I have
he-
is that when you say,
And when
okay,
you say it, people don't even want to listen to it.
like when I
It's so true.
it's organic. Like meaning what I mean by it's organic is you actually suggesting in a sense that policies is what solve the problems.
It is.
No, it's not. Okay. I'm sorry. If it is, it's created through organic majority. See, that's what solves it. When you have majority, then majority agree. That's what sets the policy.
That's what I'm saying, though. Well,
Okay, that's what
I'm
sets the policy.
If we're voters,
okay,
and we're the majority of voters, and we demand a policy, then the policy happens.
That's because we created the policy. The majority creates the policy.
Isn't that what I'm trying to do?
That's okay.
Isn't that what
The
I'm trying to do?
voters don't
No, you say-
create the policies.
Voters
No,
do.
no.
The Senate and the
voters-
Congress. I don't care what the
Oh
voters
no,
say.
he's talking technically.
I know.
Okay,
I'm
they write
talking
our policy,
facts.
Okay.
but
You
we
can talk
demand it.
technical. I'm talking facts. The Senate and the Congress said the hell with the United States of America. We shut it all down.
Right.
We don't care who you are. They shut it down.
Mhm.
Come on, man.
Thank you for finding more problems for us. I
And then
appreciate
the
that.
people said, no, that's not a problem. And then the
Hey,
people said
shutting the government down is a
absolutely
problem.
nothing.
Hey,
The
E, I
people
think
said nothing.
we
But
might have
had the
some,
people raise hell, then guess what? Anytime when you stop.
So Tommy,
It's
Tommy, is it a problem if people don't raise hell?
Yes, it is.
Then you're a professional problem finder again.
No.
hey,
I'm not.
Eric, we might have some people holding on the lines that have some policies. for
Let's
us,
see if they
right?
got some policy.
Man.
I hate that I had you on hold so long. Let's get to Rick. He wanted to talk about Antonin Scalia. Hey, Rick, what's up, man?
Hey, I'd like to know why anybody would think that the two sides, the left and the right, are ever going to get together on anything. I mean, I heard earlier, I think it was you that said Antonin Scalia kicked the bucket yesterday. And that's a pretty callous way of talking about somebody who has achieved the Chief Justice, Associate Chief Justice. I mean, that's an honorable man, whether you agree with him or not. I disagree tremendously with progressives, but I don't. If they die, I don't treat them callously. I treat them as Americans who see the world completely different than me, oppositionally to me. I'm never going to agree with many progressives on anything, but do I think
but
they have
Rick,
the right?
isn't that really kind of the problem? What you just said, that you're never going to agree. You've pre-decided that you're never going to agree.
No, I didn't.
Isn't that exactly what the
wrong.
Senate just did when they said that we're never going to approve anything the president did before they even see what he did? Isn't it the same thing they did when we talk about the Iran deal and everybody was disagreeing with an Iran deal that hadn't been written yet?
I hope you allow me to respond.
Oh, go ahead. I want you to tell me how that's different than what you're talking about.
Okay, when I have a fundamental disagreement with life, for instance, understand that if you're a progressive and you are a person that believes that a woman has the right to choose to kill her unborn child, I'm never going to agree with that. Do I want to stop the law that was passed by the Supreme Court? No, I don't. On the Second Amendment, do I want to take away an honest person's ability to own a firearm? No, I don't. Do the progressives? Yes, they do.
No.
Ain't nobody trying to take no gun
Nothing's
from
right about that,
somebody.
Rick. Nothing's right about that.
Hey, I like
There's
a
not
commentary, Rick.
I hope I get to respond to anything you say.
Yeah, well, listen now. There's not a sliver of what you just said about progressives wanting to take an honest person's gun away. Nothing is accurate about that. No. There's nobody that's proposed anything to do that.
And Rick, I'd like to ask you a question, Rick, and this is seriously. Since when do we have the right to tell a woman what she should or should not do with her body? I mean, after all, wait, Rick. Let me finish. Let me finish, Rick. Let me. I'm not going to be no long dissertation. Okay. I mean, if a woman is raped and she is impregnated, that's her choice. if a woman is in a bad relationship and she knows that the guy that she's with, she comes to her senses and knows that he's not going to take care of that child because society is saying the hell with you.
It doesn't matter the reason. It's her choice.
But the point of the matter is that how can you tell a woman that's got to go through 9 months of hell what she can and can't do? Go ahead, Rick.
I just told you I didn't. I fundamentally believe that you are a male, that you are a woman when you're female, and that is chosen at conception. When all the DNA is there, you are now forever, from that moment, always going to be male or female. That's scientific fact. That's not my personal opinion or your personal opinion. Now, if you want to kill that human being growing in the womb, that's your choice. Do I have to ever side with you or ever be your friend or ever agree that's right? No, I don't. Do we have to survive together in this society? Yes, we do. Antonin Scalia made some decisions that the progressives absolutely loathe. There are people on the left that have been Supreme Court justices that have made choices, and they've been conservatives that I've completely loathed. When we disagree with each other, we should disagree passionately. We should disagree ethically. The content of our character should be pure. And when you use terms like the Chief Justice kicks the bucket.
He kicked the bucket. That's right. He kicked the bucket.
They ain't got no problem telling that Rick ain't around here no more. What the hell? The hell with the Chief Justice. The hell with all of them. Because let me tell you something, man. At the end of the day, the first problem is that there shouldn't be no place on the face of the earth that somebody has a job until they die. And then they can come up and make decisions and stuff that affect you the rest of your life. So the hell with them.
They're okay. We agree 100%. Just like Thomas Jefferson did not trust the Supreme Court, the right-wing corporate nut rich want the Supreme Court to pass their laws. As you know, you quoted one of them. The progressives want to take away lots of my rights by 9 justices or 5 of the 9 justices deciding a law that I'm going to have to live with the rest of my life.
Rick, you paint with some very broad brushes.
Yeah, I like Rick, though. Hey, Rick, this is Tommy. I like you, Doc.
We could go right down. The problem is people don't want to discuss these issues face to face, or like we're doing right now. When I say this is my position and I disagree with yours, and you can say, well, you're a nut, you're on the crazy train, you're a clown, that's fine, but it's never going to make us live in a society. It's never going to make us live in a society where we can.
Well, listen. I stand by. He kicked the bucket. That is.
And I stand by that. Unacceptable in a civil society.
That's just Eric's personality, Rick. Don't worry about it.
So I don't keep no problem with that. But I appreciate it, Rick, as always, man. Thanks.
Good call, Rick.
Take care.
Thanks.
All right.
Wait, I'm not going to, let's move on. Let's get, weather in Seattle is what, Paul?
Well, the problem there with Rick is that he just declares things and that's the way it is. And that's why he's never going to agree with a progressive, because it's outside of his declarative.
Yeah, that's gang talk, right?
He speaks in absolutes.
Yeah, it's exactly. I mean, here's the funny thing about, and by the way, Rick, Antonin Scalia was not the Chief Justice, and he's not the Associate Chief Justice. He's an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice is John Roberts, right? You look at the Republicans on the stage last night. First of all, they're going to say, we're not going to approve any nominee of Barack Obama, right? Any. Barack Obama could put Robert Bork in an envelope and say, you going to approve this one? They didn't know that. So let's see who it was, right? Oh, you just turned out Robert. I'm sorry. But because it's Barack Obama, they're not going to approve it. But listen what they want to do. First of all, they want to repeal a Barack Obama. They want to repeal the 20th century. But they want to repeal Obamacare. It's all about repealing. But the decisions that they abhor the most are decisions made by the court that was appointed by Republican presidents, right? So in other words, Marco Rubio's out there saying, well, I'm going to pick justices that would overturn and repeal the Obergefell, the same-sex marriage decision. They're going to overturn the decisions made about Obamacare. They want to overturn Roe versus Wade. These were all decisions that were made by Republican-appointed courts, majority. Republicans in the last 50 years have appointed the majority of justices on the court. Ronald Reagan and George Bush, the first, Reagan appointed 3, O'Connor, Scalia, and Kennedy, And George H.W. Bush appointed
one, right?
Thomas and David Souter.
Oh, he did two.
They've appointed
he did the
5 in
Souter.
12 years.
Okay.
Barack Obama's appointed 2. And all of the court that existed before that, and here's the other thing, is that, Cruz says, I think I would have appointed Antonin Scalia as law clerk. So I guess a crony judiciary is what he wants, as if the fact that John Roberts being the law clerk of William Rehnquist was not crony judiciary enough, at least not for Rafael Ted Cruz. He wants a more crony judiciary.
What bothers me is that they're
repealing-
advocating for activist judges, and they rail against activist judges.
Yes.
It's hypocritical at the core.
They don't agree with the justices that they already appointed, so they have to undo that. They're all about activism. That's what they want to do, is to repeal because they don't elect. And here's the thing: is when they say the court is stacked, or the court is, especially out here in Washington State, we have all of our entire judiciary is elected. So they complain about these judges out here elected by liberals. Yet back in Washington, D.C., they're unelected judges, and they have no right to. They complain about the judiciary no matter what. But what that really does is it impeaches and takes away any credibility from the decisions that they agree with. You see, like Hobby Lobby, they all agreed with that. But I'm sorry, no, that's not a legitimate decision. You see, because you can't trust the judiciary. It's all stacked, right? That's what they do. And unless they get the result that they want, then the judiciary must be stacked. That's the way every Republican on that stage was talking last night. Unless they get the result that they want, the judiciary is rigged.
How about we get a judge that adheres to the law? How about we just get that, regardless of their political leaning?
What law?
That'd be
They're
that'd be
shooting
ideal.
people all across the country.
See, here go Tommy finding more problems again.
That ain't no problem. It's a fact.
Hey, Paul, I got to move, man. I appreciate you, man.
Right.
Thanks. You got to quit that, man.
They
We need some
using the
policy.
law and they just shooting folks. And then set up and straight out lie to you with your eyes seeing exactly what you see.
Let's get Charles here. Charles, what's up, man? Hey, Charles.
Oh, hello.
Hey, man, how are you?
Yeah, I just want to say that everybody's talking about supporting Bernie Sanders, but did you know that he actually voted for the crime bill of '94 too?
I'm sure he did.
The crime bill of who?
Yeah,
Of
the
94.
one everybody's blaming, like
Bill
Hillary.
Clinton. Yeah, Bill
is,
Clinton.
he was a voter, but there was a lot of good things in that, and there was a lot of bad things in that too. The hate crime provision was in there, some other things. But I think the problem is that people are just not educated when they vote. You can have everybody vote, but if nobody really knows the issues, what's the use of voting?
Well, that's true. But that's why I say we've got to get good at policy. We got to figure out what we want. We can't keep continuing to find problems with everything.
Right.
Figure out what we
I
want.
mean, Charles just
I mean, I
said it.
appreciate it, Charles. We got to find stuff that we can agree with, that we want to get done.
Right.
Okay.
I agree with
So
that, Eric.
how is this a problem? As y'all keep saying, I find problems. How is this?
Ain't no y'all, me.
No,
Me,
that's
I'm
just-
saying.
no,
that's
it's him.
just E.
It's him, and we're gonna get this other guy when the show is over out in the parking lot. We're gonna side with Eric, but we don't handle that. But check this out, and it's 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes.
No,
Watch
you ain't
this.
got to, because we got to go to break in one.
Okay, so 30 seconds. Explain to me how a person was elected democratically by this nation to the highest office in the land, and another individual said, "To hell with whatever and anything you do," and the media said it was okay. I mean,
Is the media saying it's
hey
okay?
man,
Hey,
hold-
Tommy.
I need some more. I need some blue pills.
Okay.
I
But listen, man, is the media saying it's okay a problem?
say that again.
Is the media saying that was okay a problem?
Of course, they said it was okay.
Is that a problem for you, though?
Is it a problem?
Yeah.
It ain't a problem for me. I saw the facts. I look at facts. See, it really wouldn't matter if it's a Republican, a Democrat, or Daffy Duck if they're doing the will of the people.
That's right.
And that's what I'm asking for here is what do we want?
What policy do we want?
See, we're
What
like
solution
we're
do we
like
want?
children here, and we at McDonald's, and we can't pick a damn thing on the
Well,
menu.
but in our
Tell me
democracy,
what you want. You want some fries? You want a Happy Meal? What you want?
but in our democracy, it's almost impossible to like just point to an answer the way you ask the question.
Actually,
you
can point to an answer.
He knows that.
Yeah, I mean it's almost impossible.
I got policy. I got policy. Now, admittedly, I read the stuff. I'm a wonk like that, but I got policy. I know what actions need to happen. Tommy and I were talking earlier about, excuse me, nobody talking about jobs, and I'm trying to explain that indirectly, Bernie is. Because the economy creates jobs. People don't create jobs. Business don't create jobs.
And Bernie Sanders?
But that doesn't mean all of the issues. That don't mean all of the issues.
I ain't talking about all the issues. I'm talking about
policies.
Be the first president that's elected.
You're talking about policies, but you're talking about policies. Policies come from issues.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So once you identify a problem,
French fries if I grow the potatoes.
Once you identify a problem,
right,
you attach a policy to it.
Okay.
Okay. Let's take this break. You guys on the line, I got you. Get into the next hour. Next break. Takes two for more of the Family Meeting.
This is Bill Cooper from Inline Designs Office Solutions. We're at www.inlinedesignsofficesolutions.com and keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice, save, and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Imagine a job where someone cares about you, your family, and your coworkers, and will sign a contract to that effect. That is what a union actually does for you. We've all heard the bashing, the insults, and hatred directed toward unions by powerful political elites and wealthy business bosses. For more information about your job interests, call SEIU Local 73 and ask for Tim Ball, 312-787-5868. Again, that number is 312-787-5868.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITFASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
This is Tanisha K. Brooks, teacher for the Great Ann Arbor Public Schools, where Wolverines rule. And welcome back to the Family Meeting.
Yes, indeed. So this is our last segment, guys. So what needs to happen right now, everybody got to find a way to contain it for a minute while I get these calls in. Can you contain it?
I can contain it.
Can you?
Happy birthday, Revon.
Okay, dude. Ain't no shout outs around here, man. We ain't trying to do that, man. Okay, so let me get Ivan and DuPage. Ivan, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Eric?
Ain't nothing, man. I gotta give you a minute, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. This idea that Democrats and Republicans are both the same is nonsense. Barack Obama, who will go down in history as one of the greatest presidents of all time, is a Democrat, not a Republican. If you're a union man, a veteran, a minimum wage worker, a mother on welfare with hungry children, student that can't afford their loans, a person with cancer on disability, Republicans are not your friends.
Yeah, but in all fairness,
Democrats are, period.
In all fairness, Ivan, I don't disagree with you at all. But I will say there's a caveat. to my agreement with you. That is, don't you wish the president would have stood up and spoke out a little bit more, a little earlier on?
How, when they didn't told him sit his aide down?
There you go. He was blocked from day one. Bro, Barack Obama.
No. Listen to me.
Really pragmatic. He had to deal with what he had to deal with. He got the best done with complete opposition. From the
Listen.
party
I agree
of
with you.
no,
He did an amazing job, but don't you just deep down wish sometimes he'd have showed him the angry black man thing for a minute? Okay. All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
He'd have been in the insane asylum in the morning.
Okay. Hey, man, I got to move. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, man. You just step up. Just say something for a minute. Okay, let me get Ezra. Ezra's calling from Nashville. What's up in Nashville?
Yeah, well, let me tell you. See, you all don't understand guys like Rick. I don't know how much time y'all spend in the South, but the disease has started to spread around the country over the past 20 years. Since Newt Gingrich, the disease of the South has spread around the country. It's called evangelical hypocristians. You know them as Republicans. So what you have to understand is that these people don't see the world the way we do. They're not Christ-like. They're very phony because they're following a guy who said 2 Corinthians. That should have been a dead giveaway. Yesterday was a great day for America. When that monster kicked the bucket, that's one of the days that you write down and circle. February the 13th will go down as one of the greatest kickoff points for America, because what Anthony Scalia helped do with the help of Ronald Reagan and the rest of the evil evangelical hypocrites in the Republican Party, they turned our country back by 50 years. We have a unique opportunity to, what do they say? Take our country back. And it's all about the Supreme Court. So people who are supporters of Bernie Sanders and people that are supporters of Hillary Clinton, calm the hell down. Things really got real yesterday, realer than normal. You must pay attention to what these people have done, and also pay attention to what President Obama has done. He has constantly, over the past few years, quietly has stacked Democratic appointed justices to the appellate courts.
When the Senate would have him up or down vote, I agree with you.
Hey, Ezra, did you know that Scalia has a Esquire? Did you know that? That means as soon as you put one monster in the grave, another one springs up.
Okay, don't listen. Don't listen to him. Don't listen.
This is a good opportunity.
We've been dealing with monsters since Plymouth Rock landed on us. Come on, man.
Don't listen to Tommy.
Evangelical
Ezra,
Christians.
don't listen to Tommy, man. Don't listen to Tommy.
No. It's
Give me one of them pills, man.
Evil evangelical hypocrite.
Yeah.
Get it right now.
Yeah. Hey, man, I got to move, man. I appreciate you.
And the name is Carl, by the way.
Why is Ezra on here? Why you got... Okay.
I don't know.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Carl. Appreciate it, man. Let's get Kirk. Kirk want to talk about Bernie. Kirk.
Hey, fellas. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good,
How you?
good. All right. Good Sunday to you. Hey, yeah, I want to say something about Bernie Sanders, but this other topic you guys are on, man, I want to say this. I heard about Scalia passing away while I was driving yesterday. I was so happy, I almost pulled the car over and started to break out in a breakdance on the corner. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Antonin Scalia, wasn't he one of the justices that overturned provisions within the Civil Rights Voting Act that allowed some of these states and colleges to start being able to change their voting procedures that allowed some of the voter suppression to take place?
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's the guy that kind of stood up and said that was not a problem any longer. I think he was one of the guys that said that. Yes.
Said that racism doesn't exist no more and everything's all right, so we don't need all this stuff. Okay, well, screw him.
Well said. And listen, Kurt, drop the mic, man, and step.
I got a lot of people to feel the same way.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so last call, Gibo, what's up, man?
Hey.
Okay, so you got a minute. Get it in, man. Get it in.
Oh, I was stunned. The man said he was happy Scalia died. Okay, I got a minute. Please let me talk. Thank you very much. I am Gibo. I told you 4 weeks ago that Hillary Clinton would be indicted on March 13th. I don't know if you remember that.
You did.
Yes. Watch for it, my friends. The other point I would really like to stress right now for my last bit is when Barack Obama said that ISIS was the JV team, he was really right on. The fact of the matter is the fear of ISIS is like having a scorpion in your bed and being worried about his claws. The fear is Iran. ISIL has no air force. Iran has a powerful air force. ISIS has no navy. Iran has a powerful navy. ISIS does not have a standing army. Iran does. Iran is very close to nuclear. It's been revealed to us that Iran will make a move when Hillary Clinton is indicted. It's going to throw our politics into a turmoil. It's going to be unbelievable. Barack Obama will not want to move in the Middle East with foots on the ground, which we need. It's going to be unbelievable. And then Russia teams up. They move. Watch for Iran with the backing of Russia to annex Iraq and spread into Syria, and they will have a coalition there that will dominate OPEC oil production, and it will be bad, my friends.
Okay, we'll watch for it, man.
Electric cars. That's
yeah. We'll watch
hey,
for it.
listen. As Christians, we've read the last chapter and we win. So just have no fear, but be aware and watch what happens.
Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I'll talk to you guys next week. Love you.
All right,
Bye.
you too.
Have a nice one.
He read the last chapter. He must have skipped ahead. Okay.
But Eric, you know the thing that amazes
You got a
me?
policy for me, bro?
Yes.
Okay, what's the policy?
Watch this. What is wrong with these people? Do you not
That ain't
recognize?
no policy, man.
Wait, yeah. This is a policy because this country called the United States of America is so devious and so scandalous, man. The only thing that's keeping the world in check is the stuff that America has got floating around out in space.
Is he finding problems?
Trust
again?
me on
do
that.
I hear him finding
That
problems
ain't no
again?
problem. That's a fact.
Okay,
God bless
problem.
America.
Policy. Policy. That's the problem. We don't have policy.
And you're never gonna have one except for
no.
Skip You.
That
That's
is-
your
that is
policy.
not a policy. That is not a policy.
Watch this. The one gentleman called in. He said everybody that was supposed to be on the bottom of the barrel, and nobody has ever talked about the individuals who paid their bills, voted, did everything they're supposed to do, and got absolutely screwed, and have never got any justice from that.
That's a
screw.
problem, isn't it?
No, that's a fact. That ain't no problem.
It's a factual problem.
I think the best idea. I think the best idea I've ever heard on it on this whole thing is that months ago, Eric, when you said if we take income tax out of remove the income tax, I think the whole demeanor or whole approach to policies would change because that mandate wouldn't be in place for me to care. If most of my money was mandated about,
you'd be mad.
I wouldn't care. If you implemented it on the sales portion of it, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about what y'all do. I really wouldn't. But it's that mandate.
So
I
you're
think
saying make the income tax a sales tax.
Well, I know they would
Make it
do
a
it. I know they
consumption
would do it. They would probably
consumption
do it.
tax.
They would do it. They would do it. I mean, if you remove the income tax, they would raise the sales tax.
Well, you have to because you got to
Right.
pay for the roads and everything else. You
But
gotta
my
pay for
point
stuff.
is, what would that do though? If we were to do that, I think that would take the energy down on all of these gung ho fights that's going on because it's the mandate. It's the mandate we get fired up about.
No panacea.
But the challenge is what Bernie said, and I'm not endorsing Bernie. Don't think that. The challenge is you have to advocate for what you can get consensus on.
Right.
So,
There's a great consensus on Skip You.
See, there's a problem again. So listen,
skip the kids, skip the mama, skip the daddy,
Go
skip
ahead,
the
Jim.
granddaddy,
But there's
skip the
many
Medicaid.
things-
I don't care what you come up with. It's Skip You.
Many things that you start advocating for, you don't have the consensus, but the consensus builds.
Right.
That's something we also need to keep in mind.
So maybe we can get consensus on a consumption tax. Maybe we can get that.
But that's what I said. That's what becomes organic. That's how policies are created. That's what I'm saying. It becomes
come from
organic.
voters. It come from voters.
That's right. It becomes organic as opposed
That's
to
what I'm
where's
trying to do. I'm trying to
where's a
create organic policy right now.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what happens.
But
That's all.
I'm asking for policy. Policy. Give me policy. I want policy.
Right. Okay. I mean,
I got one for you. Save your nickels and dimes. I'm on my way to Mars,
goodness,
baby. I'm
How
gonna
you-
holler at
How
you
you
from
gonna
outer
get to
space.
Mars on a nickel and a dime?
Easy.
The trip's a little more expensive than that, bro.
Last time I checked, a 4K smart TV was in the thousands. It's down in the hundreds. You better do your math.
What's that got to do with the cost of a trip to Mars?
Nothing.
You see, I need damn sure on them blue pills again. I know he is. He done gone crazy.
My brother, come on now.
It costs a little more than your nickel and dime to get to Mars. How long is the trip, bro?
Hell, y'all ain't saying that when the Republicans said, shut it all down. Turn the lights out. Y'all get the hell out of here. You ain't said a word. But now you want to sit up here and question me.
How dare we do that?
I know. We've got our nerve, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, too, by the way. I think we learned that diplomacy can work this week.
Yes.
Right? President, or apparently John Kerry, is in the process of finalizing a deal to cease war operations in Syria. Didn't require any boots on the ground. Just talking to the people, which is something we all learned in kindergarten. When you have a disagreement, you got to talk. You have to speak with the people that you disagree with.
Yes.
You can't, as Rick said, decide in advance, I'm never, ever going to agree with you. If you do that, you'll never, ever have an agreement.
I don't necessarily think that's everything Rick was saying. Even though
leave Rick
Rick was,
Yeah, but
Rick
he
was,
did say that, though.
Well,
He
Rick
said
was just
spitting
saying
some
he
straight
understands.
knowledge, if you listen.
Rick was saying he understands where he stands. That's what he was saying to me. What
Yeah,
I'm
but you
listening to.
but you can't say
He know where he stand.
But you can't say, if you intend on finding harmony, you can't say, I will never, ever agree with you.
That's not true. That's not true.
No,
Like,
it-
some
they
things,
don't
intend on no
some
harmony.
things you can say. I'm like, you
No.
some
Actually,
things you
no,
can't say is I
absolutely
don't
not.
never agree
there,
with.
There are things that you'll never agree on,
Right. There are
but you
things-
can never say, I will never agree with you because you're a liberal.
No, you
That's what he
change-
said.
You
You
change
should
that
never
again.
say never, period.
No.
No, that's not true. Some things you know never. Some things you do
No,
know
no,
you'll
but-
never
but-
do,
but
or
it's
you
not
never agree
things,
on.
though. It's not things. It's people. It's people.
Some people's point of views you know for a fact you will never agree on. That is
No,
true.
that's
I
not
don't know.
true.
I don't know about that.
How you
Listen,
gonna say that's
I
not
know
true?
Rick. I know Rick.
for a fact I'll never kiss you on your lips. I know for a fact.
That ain't got nothing to do.
But that's what the point is on certain
I don't think-
concepts.
I don't think-
man.
I don't think
What
you're
kind
listening
of
to-
show is this?
I'm
Did he
just
say
saying.
I don't think
kiss
you're
him on
listening
the
to
this
the
is
lips?
word I'm
family
saying.
show.
Hey, I'm
You
with the
get my point,
Republicans.
though.
Turn the lights out.
Yeah.
I don't think you heard a word I said, because what I'm saying is you can disagree on subjects,
Right.
but you can't decide. I can't decide that, Rob, I'm never ever going to agree with you. I can't say that because I don't know everything you're thinking.
Well, no, not like that. Not,
That's what Rick said.
no, he was talking.
No. Don't tell me what he's talking about. That's what he said.
No. I'm saying your interpretation of what he said. Mine
That's
was
not
a
an
little-
interpretation.
It was
It's what he
different.
said.
It was different. With point being, the point
It's
being,
what he said.
Okay, Eric.
It's what he
the point-
said, though, right?
Period. Look,
Isn't it what he said?
from your interpretation?
No. I can't interpret
Like,
what he said. He said what he said.
I'm saying is, when Rick said what he said, based off what he said to me, he was saying he is absolute knowing where he stands. Because he know where he stands,
That's not what he said.
he can never agree with you.
I don't think you hear
He
what
could-
I'm
he could
saying. I
possibly
don't
never
think you
agree
hear
with
at
you.
all what I'm
Well,
saying.
wait a
What I'm
minute. Did they
saying to
have
you
a
is,
policy,
hold on, Tom.
liberty, and
Hold on,
justice
Tom.
for all?
Go ahead.
Hold on, Tom. What I'm saying is, if you intend on finding harmony, you can't make a declarative statement that you're never, ever going to agree with somebody.
Okay,
You can say that I will never agree with you on abortion. I will never agree with you
right.
on gun
I agree
rights,
with that.
right? But you can't say, I will never, ever agree with you.
And I don't, maybe hopefully he'll call back because I don't think that's what he said.
That's exactly what he
That's
said.
what he said as soon as he got on the phone.
That's exactly what he said.
Well,
Even if he meant it a different way, you can't say that.
as Rick's counsel, I think y'all need to bring those questions toward me.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
Won't be
I'll
prominent,
tell you
I
what.
know.
So here's the deal. That's all the time we have. It goes like that sometimes. We have an ending that's just abrupt like this. I want to thank y'all for what you got, Rob.
If you agree with me 9 out of 12 issues, vote for me. If you agree with me 12 out of 12 issues, see a psychiatrist.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that.
Ebony, Anthony, Sharon, all of you, Tommy, Brittany, Ravon,
All right.
I love
anyway,
you guys.
that's all the time we got.
Why they
That's all
treat
the
me
time we got. The time is crazy as hell, man. It's all the time we have. I want to thank you for yours. Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. Thanks, Tressa, for your news today. And we'll see y'all next Sunday. Peace.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk AM and FM, presenting your World News Update.
I'm Carlotta Bradley. Presidential candidates continue to weigh in on the Supreme Court vacancy created